Boyce said, put this person in this position. And why could I do that? Well, because I control the finances of the institution. So here's my point. Here's what I'm saying. And I don't know the details of FAMU, how they're funded or anything like that, but I'm gonna tell you like this. This is something I need you to tell your kids, and I need you to write it down. I need you to get the fairy tale out of your head right now. He who has the gold makes the rules. He who has the gold makes the rules. When I was a little kid, my mother used to say, well, they don't pay no bills in my house, so they can't tell me what to do. And that's 100% correct. When me and my father had conflicts when I was a teenager, the only time I was able to really be free was when I moved out of his house and I built a house. I got a place of my own. It wasn't as nice as his house, but it was my house. You get to make the rules in your house. That's my point. I dare say, with as many extraordinary HBCU graduates as we have in this country, we're about to produce one right now. We're about to send one to Tuskegee. I dare say that one of the greatest vulnerabilities, one of the greatest matters of Black national security in existence is the fact that the overwhelming majority of the institutions to which you have an emotional attachment are owned and controlled and run and financed by people who do not have your best interest at heart. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you believe Diddy was abusing Cassie, part of that abuse was probably stemmed in the fact that Diddy was paying Cassie's bills. If you feel abused as an institution, I encourage you to take a moment and ask yourself, who's paying the bills? And then I need you to take another moment and ask yourself a deeper question, which is, why are we letting certain people pay the bills if they don't care about us? And then you can go deeper and ask yourself another question and say, what if the people paying the bills decide that they want to take the institution in a different direction? I graduated from that school. Okay, so well, I go to the homecoming every year and it's lit. Okay, they're still gonna have the homecoming. I just love that school. I wear my Rattler yellow and or was it green and orange, or I'm a Rattler to the core. Okay, that's cool, but the endowment, the bills, the funding, where does that come from? Who pays those bills? Now, I'm not here to say that you shouldn't get money from the state. You should. They deserve all the money from the state. But one of the problems is that you got to understand that money comes with power. And also you got to understand that all money ain't good money. One of the most important and most critical steps in obtaining true economic power is learning when to say no to money that's offered to you. One of the greatest socioeconomic vulnerabilities in the Black community exists because we were trained from birth to take money from anybody who offers it. Any polite white man who walks up and writes a check, we're like, thank you, boss. Look at me, I'm lit. Yo, look at, I got 10 million. Where'd you get the 10 million from? Who's your daddy? Who's paying the bills? If you don't have enough economic consciousness to do that type of due diligence, then you're going to end up looking like a sucker. Because at some point, the person who wrote the check is going to cash that check, and they're going to cash it on your head, and they're going to tell you to do something you don't want to do. And you're going to say, well, this ain't right. This ain't fair. Well, life ain't fair. Life is about power. Money is power. You live in America. Money is everything in America. Unfortunately, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying this is the way it should be. I'm not talking as a capitalist. I am not a capitalist. Sometimes I get accused of being a capitalist. That's like calling me the N-word. No, I'm not a capitalist, and I'm not a nigga. I'm just a man who thinks. And what I see with FAMU is I'm not telling them what to do. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm not saying that they're incorrect about any of this, but I'm saying I'm trying to figure out, how in the hell are you an institution that's so vulnerable that somebody from outside of your culture has the power to come in and plop a president right on top of your head, and you can't do nothing about it except scream and holler at the town hall meeting? That's all you can do.